Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Renisha Roberts, and today we are going to speak with a guest that I've had here before, just get a different perspective. We were here several years ago. Oh my gosh, it seemed ancient now, right?
Mm-hmm.
During COVID, oh my gosh, and we were talking about COVID fatigue, and here we are.
Mm-hmm.
The world has opened up with new challenges after COVID, and that's a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. So my guest
Mm-hmm.
today, I have the pleasure to speak with Miss Jadeana Leggett, hailing all the way from Brooklyn, New York. And like I said, we're going to talk a little bit today about, things that are happening
Mm-hmm.
post-pandemic, post-COVID. And just to tell you a little bit about her. So Jadeana is a human capital associate. Currently, she works for Success Academy and has been there for approximately 3 years. Um, Outside of work, she has a wide range of interests and hobbies that keep her engaged. And she loves to learn, so she's constantly learning new things, which is great for a young person. Some of her favorite hobbies and activities include listening to music, watching movies, and playing Sudoku.
Mm-hmm.
These pursuits not only bring her joy, but also help her to stay creative and open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
So the topic that we're going to talk a little bit about today, and is one I've been talking about, I would say for the last couple of weeks, maybe the last couple of months actually, is, how do we stay in a space where we are able to have a healthy work-life balance, where we are able to be able to take care of ourselves, because self-care is no longer mani-pedi every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
With the stress of our jobs and the way that things are being demanded on us now, again, past COVID. Because I remember when Jadeana and I was having a conversation about COVID fatigue, we were talking about being inside and not having things to do. And now we have too much to do, so
Mm-hmm.
much more to do. So we're going to talk a little bit about, what's going on with her as a nice little follow-up, for us, what's going on in her life, past COVID, past pandemic. So Jadeana, just want to ask you, how has the transition to a hybrid work environment affected
Mm-hmm.
you? And
So,
do you prefer, I'm sorry, and do you prefer it to be total hybrid,
mm-hmm.
total in office, or is hybrid working for you right now? Just a little bit about that.
Okay. So the transition to like a hybrid work environment has had a significant impact on me, especially being home for so long.
Yeah.
It has brought like a mix of challenges and opportunities. And one on hand is the flexibility to work from home remotely has provided me with like a better work-life balance and reduce like my commuting time and
Yes.
save me some money.
Yes, of course.
I appreciate like the freedom to the structure of my workday and the increased focus time that it brings.
Mhm.
However, sometimes working remotely can be a little bit challenging, especially when collaborating with other teams. Sometimes it's always not as easy to collaborate over Zoom. You
Mhm.
probably need to be
Mhm.
more in person. So
Okay.
yeah. And I would say I like the hybrid. I
Yeah.
think make being home like all week can be kind of draining. I
Okay.
currently go into work 3 days a week and I'm two
Right.
days remote, but
Right.
I would rather 2 days in the office and 3 days remote.
I totally agree. Yes, I do. So what I hear a lot is I feel
Mhm.
like, so the debate is, some people love all in office, or some
Mhm.
people love all hybrid.
Mhm.
And I feel like most of the companies now, they have mandated, like some of my clients are mandated to be in the
Mhm.
office more.
Yes.
So they
Mhm.
may have a day off or 2 days off like you, but they have
Mhm.
to be in the office. And a lot of them like, why do I need to be in the office? I can get all of my work done on my computer at home as I
Mhm.
always did. So you
Yep.
have the group that absolutely loves it. And
Mhm.
some people's home are chaotic. So
Yes.
they have to come into the office to get work done.
Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
great for those people. They have that office space.
Mhm.
But and then there's a mixed batch that also
Yes.
has the, yeah, I like the flexibility of being home 2 days a week, which
Mhm.
is great, right? Three
Yeah.
would be better, absolutely, but two
Yes.
is good, right? At least they're not mandating you to be in there
Yes.
the
Every
five
day.
days, which
Mhm.
some people are right now.
Yeah.
So there's still a debate going on, and I feel like this is one of the after effects of COVID.
Yes.
We're speaking about, hey, we might get to know some of the results of what's going on once this
Mm-hmm.
is over. And this happens to be one of those kind of debates where I like to be home, or I like to
Yeah.
be on office, or I like the hybrid works for me just well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good match, a good batch, I would say. And I hope
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, employers are
Mm-hmm.
listening to their co-workers, because
Yes.
some people do have more demanding at home where it's just
Mm-hmm.
easy for them to just be at home,
Yes.
take care of things while, of
Mhm.
course, getting all their work done. Because we do
Yeah.
work more from home. And that's much
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
We do.
We do. Because
We
people
do.
don't realize that, you know, whether you're commuting for an hour on each end,
Mm-hmm.
it's no longer there. So I can
Yes.
work a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I do put in more
Mm-hmm.
from
And you
home,
don't take lunch when you're home. You just work throughout the day.
which I don't like. We don't even talk about that. Let's not even say, because but it happens. It
Yeah.
happens. I want to get my work done. So I want to skip lunch. And
Yes.
I'm going to get my work done. Whereas in the office, you might be more amped to go out and have lunch or
Yes.
take your lunch
Yeah.
break. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so yes, so there are pros and cons for each side, to be honest.
Yes, there are.
Yes. What would you say is difficult or challenging about
Mm-hmm.
your work, and what do you love about it right now?
So the most challenging aspect of my work is just keeping up with all like my daily tasks, especially around like busy season. So currently,
Mm.
right now, we're in busy season.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. So we're doing like a mass hiring for teachers and school staff. And right now we're like looking at 600 to 800 new hires.
Oh,
Yes.
wow,
For
that's
the
great to
upcoming school year.
hear. Okay.
So I have to, what part of my job is to onboard all new hires and to make sure they have, like, they're all set for their first day at work. So going through that amount of people with my team can be like kind of like a struggle, but I have like a great team. They're very supportive. So that's like, and then I not only do that, also do other tasks too. So trying to keep up with tasks and like managing tight deadlines and dealing with like
Yes.
complex projects and stuff and just navigating through the whole thing. So that's currently right now.
Ooh, I know the busy season. Yes. And what do you love about it? What you do?
I like to work in fast-paced environments. So the fast
Okay.
pace is fine for me.
Yes.
Much doing the same thing too, like every day. It might sound repetitive and maybe boring to some people, but I
Uh-huh.
wake up every day and I know what I have to do.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah. So you love having like that kind of routine. Because I
Yes.
remember during the pandemic, we didn't have a routine.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like dilly-dally,
Yeah.
didn't do any kind of thing. Interesting. So you have a job where you are responsible for a lot of people's welfare, to be honest.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Okay.
And everybody must be hired on time, so they'll come after us.
Absolutely. And everything has to be right, like I said,
Yeah.
onboard them at a certain time. But
Yeah.
what I'm glad to hear is that people are being hired. I think that's great. I think that's
Yes.
awesome. People are being hired again. So that's a great thing. And
Mm-hmm.
that's mass. You said 600 people. That's a lot of
Yes. To
people.
800. Yes.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's good to hear that, because I know that there are companies that are still laying people off.
Yes,
A
that
lot of
is true.
layoff going on right now as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to
Especially
hear that
a lot of
that's
big
happening.
companies are doing like mass layoffs. So
Yeah. A lot of companies are also going under. A lot of people are closing their
yes.
doors or
Mm-hmm.
reducing the amount of,
Mm-hmm.
you know, properties that they have as well.
Yeah.
So again,
Mm-hmm.
it's good to hear that people are being hired. I think that's great. That's really
Mm-hmm.
great. Awesome. How do you maintain that healthy work-life balance? Because your work is challenging, as us
Yeah.
all, right? How do you maintain that healthy work-life balance?
So maintain like a healthy work-life balance is like very important to me.
Yes.
Once 4:45, 5 o'clock comes, I am packing up to leave.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Yes, I
Nice.
established like clear boundaries between like work and personal life. I set like like I said, dedicated working hours and strive to like stick to them.
Yeah.
I avoid like temptations to like check emails once I'm home because I bring my laptop with me home from
Okay.
work, so I can
Mhm.
easily just go in and say, hey, like let me do like a little work, so I won't have so much to do the next day. I make time for like activities and hobbies, like the few that you had mentioned earlier,
Yes.
just to like relax me and also brings me joy like outside of work. Yeah.
It pleases me to hear that you have boundaries. Oh
Yes,
my
I do.
gosh. That's like the topic of the day.
Mhm.
People tend to lack boundaries.
Yes.
And because you are bringing the laptop home, like you said, it's easy for you to just say, you know what, let me just do one little thing, one more thing. Let me just
Yeah.
do it till tomorrow. I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the reward that you get for doing your work well is more work.
Yes.
More work. So you having and establishing those boundaries right now, I'm telling you, it's excellent. I
Thank
have
you.
people going on vacation. And you know how you do that, you set your out of office,
Yes. Yes.
would set the out of office email to be posted out if anyone sends them an email. And I'm still checking emails on
Yes.
vacation. What is the point of all of that?
Yes. I know a few people like that.
Answering emails while you're on vacation, answering emails on the weekend when you're off work, answering emails at the end of your day.
Hey, yeah. And you should
Once,
be like that.
once those boundaries are lost, it's very hard to redo them.
Yes,
It's
it is.
very hard to redo them because when people are used to that, oh, it's 9 p.m. I'll just send her an email. I'm not sure to get back to her. And you do, it's going to keep happening.
Yep.
You work 9 to 5, keep your boundary between 9 to 5. Anything after that, it has to be an emergency. It has to be world shattering for you to be getting up and sending emails at 9 and 10 o'clock at night. You have to make those and create and stick to those boundaries. That's something that I'm hearing a lot. People are trying to make boundaries, but not sticking to them. And then it becomes an issue later on because people will trample all over them. If you don't, you're not making them, you have to enforce them. So it's good to hear that you're already doing that.
Yes.
Do not answer the emails. It has to be an emergency. And you know what? I won't even know it's an emergency because I won't be checking my emails to see. So sorry.
Exactly.
I'm off the clock.
And that's how it should be. It's less stress.
100% less stress, which brings me to my next question. How do you approach self-care?
Okay.
This is so key right now.
Yes. So self-care is like a vital aspect to me, is maintaining like my overall well-being.
Yes.
With like a proactive mindset. Some ways I handle that is like I prioritize like nourishing my body and eating healthy. Definitely getting my rest. People ask me what time I go to bed. I tell them like I'm in my bed about like 9 o'clock, and they'd be like, "What?"
That is awesome. You sound like an old lady there, though. I'm sorry.
I know.
That's my age group. We go to bed at 9 o'clock.
I'm in my bed at night because I wake up really early to get ready for work. So I'm in my bed at night. Even if I don't fall asleep right away, I make sure I settle myself in bed, shower, eat, everything. And I've been on that schedule for as long as I can remember.
Yes.
Like a year or so.
Awesome.
I set boundaries.
Yes.
Like my time and my energy, as we were just talking about. Learning when to say no when necessary, and prioritizing like my tasks. And like avoiding overcommitment. So not answering emails like after 5 o'clock, so people won't send me emails after 5 o'clock. They know, like they say, "Hey, Jadeana is starting. She works from 9 to 5, so I'll email her in between those times." Or if I email her after, I know that she'll see it in the morning. Yeah. I also disconnect from technology. When it's time for me to go to sleep, I put my phone on a charger to the side because I notice that when I'm scrolling on my phone, I tend to stay up, especially like, everybody's scrolling on TikTok, and you're on TikTok for a few minutes and then it goes to 2 hours.
Very, very, very easy. It is, again, so refreshing to hear that from you because I have so many people who are way older than you that this is a problem. And I know something about you also. You don't really do social media, do you?
No, I only use Instagram. But as for like TikTok and like Twitter, I don't really use. Sometimes I'm on TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok as much as a lot of people are on TikTok.
A whole lot. So yes. I'm just going to go on for 5 minutes.
Yes.
An hour later, easily, later, you're still scrolling and liking, and it just sucks up so much of our time.
Yes. And this is why I put my phone to the side.
Love this. You see, we can learn so much from the younger generation. Again,
Yeah.
and that's why I want to interview people from all different walks of life, all different age
Yeah.
groups. We can learn so much.
Mm-hmm.
To honestly, for you to be able to do this now,
Mm-hmm.
setting these boundaries now, having that self-care now, where
Mm-hmm.
you're at in your lifespan, where you're at in your career, will
Mm-hmm.
definitely help you through
Yes.
years to come down the road. Now, you don't have to learn boundaries. You already know what boundaries are. You're doing it. And knowing it is one thing, right? We have to
Mm-hmm.
do it. So
Yes.
knowing it and doing it is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Giving yourself limited access to social media. We know all of the reports on social media. None of it is good. None
Yeah.
of it is good for any of us because we overindulge in these things. So
Yes.
having that now and knowing that now is also key.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned going to bed early and habit or set routine.
Mm-hmm.
So vital.
It is. It
Everyone
is.
says you should have a routine for bed.
Yes. It's very important. And it helps a lot. It does.
Well, a good night's sleep is priceless.
Yeah.
People don't understand. Sleep is so underrated. I'm like, yo, because nobody gets really 8 hours of sleep. What's
Nope.
recommended? Most Americans are getting 5 hours, 6 hours, and that's like a lot
Mm-hmm.
for most people. And
Yes.
meanwhile, 8 hours, it's what is recommended to
Mm-hmm.
have a healthy day.
Yes.
Be conscious, to be aware, to feel good in our bodies. So that's fact, going to bed at 9 o'clock. Like I said, you son at my age group. We go to bed at 9 and 10 because so we're done. We're tired. We're just tired, right? We're just tired. And you're saying I'm doing this now at my age in my 20s. I mean, that is awesome.
Yeah.
I really applaud you for already having these skills and knowing the importance of it because self-care is just lagging across the board.
It is.
People don't realize I have to say no. You said I say no. I know when to say no.
Yeah.
We gotta say no.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta take care of ourselves. And people
Yes.
don't realize how important that is
Yes.
in reducing the stress.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our work is so demanding, our work is so challenging, and then we come home and we have no boundaries for the office, no boundaries for the kids, no boundaries for our family members. We're all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And we know we have making no time for ourselves, doing everything for everything else for everybody else. So this is so, so critical. And I can't stress how important that is right now to just having a routine, taking care of yourself, and again, taking the time to do so. It's not 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. It's having a full hour.
Yes.
Take care of yourself and having your me time.
Yes.
Like we say, just take care of to rejuvenate. Rejuvenate oneself, you know. What are some of the most important parts of self-care for you, would you say?
I would say let's see. One of the most important parts, like what I do when I come home, like I said, I take a shower and I eat and I just sit down and just lay down. Like even if I don't do nothing for like an hour, but just to relax my body and relax my mind is nice. And then if I have time to like watch an episode of one of my shows, I'll do that. But just relaxing and just not thinking about work and just everything else, just being outside in general. Just in the comfort of your own home. Because my home is my comfort space.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. So just relaxing. And that again is another topic that people don't know how to relax. I don't know what we've done to ourselves in this culture where these things that we're talking about is like basic. It's a big deal for a lot of people. So many people say to me, I don't know how to relax. I feel like if I'm not doing anything, that I'm wasting time. And I'm like, hey, sitting on your couch after a long day of work and watching your favorite show for an hour is not wasting time.
It's not.
It's you rejuvenating. That's you say, you know what? I deserve this. Hour, 45 minutes, whatever amount of time we allotted to our favorite show. But even just relaxing is a big deal.
Yeah. Even if it's just for 10 minutes. I remember taking a meditation workshop at my job and they emphasize, hey, just stepping away from your desk for like 10 minutes and just like taking in the air, just not thinking about, just taking a few deep breaths in just to relax. And it helps a lot. It does.
Great. That's great. I'm a big advocate now for going outside and getting some fresh air. When you are stressed out in the office, put the computer down, go for a walk.
Yes.
Just go for a walk outside. So if it's a nice day, walk
Yes.
around the block if you need to, because sometimes, the office is all concrete jungle, like I call Manhattan.
Yeah.
There's maybe not even a green tree anywhere to even, feel and love that.
Yeah.
So take a walk around the block. It's okay.
Yeah. Luckily for me, my job is right by the water. So at
Ooh, nice.
lunchtime, or I take my lunch and I sit
Mm,
right on the benches facing the water,
oh
and
my
it's
gosh.
beautiful. It's so relaxing. I never want to go back inside.
And that's rare for
Yeah.
Manhattan. So that's
Yes.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Any body of water
Yes.
changes your mood. It changes. It's just so relaxing, so
Yeah.
tranquil. Oh,
Yes.
I'm glad you have that. That's great.
Yes. Me too. And it brings so much joy to my day, honestly. Yeah.
And when the weather is nice, you can have your lunch outside. You can grab a
Yeah.
snack outside. Because even if it's 15,
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes, you
And
know,
even when I don't have lunch, I just sit out there because I have my lunchtime. So when
yes.
so I'm
It's your
going
break
to use
time.
it.
That is so, so key and so, again, so good to hear, so refreshing. And I know, okay, there's people out there who are doing the thing that they need
Yeah.
to be doing to stay healthy. I love to hear this. Absolutely. We're going to switch gears just a little bit, right? So
Yeah.
everything we're talking about comes under this umbrella of
Yeah.
adult, right? So
Yes.
as a young person, I know you're in your 20s.
Yes.
I know, right? Hey, getting there, right? Because every
Yes.
year is going quick. It's going quick. I say enjoy it while they can, because before you blink, you're in
Mhm.
the next decade, okay?
Right.
What would you say are some of the
Mhm.
challenges that you're currently facing as you are adulting?
So as we all know, adulting is tough.
Yes.
It is.
I'm glad someone is admitting it. It is tough. Yes, it is.
So some of my struggles right now is just like time management, my career goal, looking to see where I want to go in my career, financial management, trying to save more for my future,
Yes.
and figuring out like different like budget plans. I'm always doing that every single month.
Yes.
Maintain relationships, especially as we're adults and we don't get to see our friends as often. Like, hey, we try to plan stuff and then stuff comes up and then you don't see each other for like 2 3 months.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
also just like self-care and then decision making. You always, as an adult, you always feel the need that you need to make the right decisions in life, even though you don't have to. But we are our hardest critic, our own worst
Yes.
critic. So we
Yes.
always are hard on ourselves on if we're making the right decision or not, because decisions affect like our future. So
Yes, yes, great, great, great. And like you said, it is challenging, right?
hmm
And because you guys are on that spectrum where you are learning and growing,
hmm
it is hard to make those tough decisions that you have to make
hmm
around this time.
yeah,
It amazes me when people know that they want to be a doctor or a
yeah,
lawyer or
hmm
whatever that chosen career is early in
hmm
life,
yeah,
because we're having young people make these life decisions at such a young
hmm
age where they don't really have any experience to even know what it is that I want to do.
yes.
What I want to do at 16. I'm 16, I'm 18. I want to have fun.
Right?
I don't want to think about my career, and
Yeah,
most of us figure that out later on in life,
yeah.
but we do have some people who, from the womb,
Know what they
they
want to
already
do.
know, and that's great. That's great.
hmm
But for most of us, we don't know.
Yeah,
And that's
that's
one of the hardest part about trying to make those right decisions when we
hmm
are adulting. And for a
hmm
lot of times, we may not know if they're right or wrong. So we
yeah.
try to make the best decisions that
hmm
we can make, right? Because some of us is going to be good and some are not going to be good. But I'll tell you one thing, you have to learn from the ones that are not good.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's how you learn in life. I told my last client, life is going to give you all the lessons you
hmm
need to learn. Just give it time.
Fine. Yeah,
Give it time. It will give you those lessons, because we have to make mistakes to know
hmm
how to do things better and how to do
yeah,
things right. And I know that, our parents, of course, they want to shield us from that,
hmm
right? But there are certain things in life that we have to do to just know how to navigate later on in life. But yeah, I think some of the toughest ones is making those life decisions about your career. You know, that's definitely a big one. I love to hear that you're budgeting already.
Yeah, I
401k
learned that.
already. It's like it's awesome because again, it's not something that young people per se is thinking about in their 20s, especially their earlier 20s. Oh, I'm not going to retire for 40, 50 years. Why am I thinking about that now?
Yeah, but you have to.
You know?
Especially
So,
how the economy is going.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So definitely good to hear that, you know. What do you think would be or can be some of your generation's, I would say, greatest impact on today's society? What do you
I
think?
would say with my generation, the Gen Z. I found out I was part of the Gen Z generation.
Yes, you are.
Because everybody can say like the Gen Z generation is wild.
Yes.
But what I can say is that we show like a strong like we always speak up for like social justice and
Okay.
sustainability and activism. I noticed that we get involved in that a lot.
Awesome.
We have like the potential to drive like significant change in areas
Yes.
that climate change and human rights, equality, advocating for more inclusiveness and an equitable society. And we also speak up about mental health too. A lot of generations before us didn't really do that. They just kind of worked through it. But I noticed that my speaks up more about mental health issues and try to like address them and be supportive. So
excellent, excellent. Yeah, your generation is definitely in a place where there's a lot going on, and you guys are definitely getting involved a lot more, I think, than my generation did, which is great because every generation does have and comes with their own challenges. So that's great that you guys are right now and so much going on that you guys are involved in. It is great. Before we wrap things up, is there anything else you want to leave us with or add or say to the audience?
Yes, I would say like just embrace the lifelong learning, embrace change, prioritize your self-care and your well-being. And just collaborate and connect with people. It's always good to connect with people. You never know what you may learn. And it's just good for your soul, I would say.
Yes. No, I think that's great advice. Great advice. Because again, we all can learn at every age.
Yes.
And we all should connect with people from all ages and generations. We all can learn a lot. So there's a lot of learning to do every single day, and there's no need not to connect with others. You know, Jadeana, I just want to say thank you so much for giving us all of this insight. Oh my gosh, it was great speaking with you. We're going to wrap things up over here. But guys, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, guys, please like and subscribe to these videos so that we can get more of this out to people. You know, coming in future wise, I'm going to be having a lot more guests, a lot more interesting people just talking about real life situation. And thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next segment.